right, Jamari dropped most delusional streamer.
So there is this streamer out there named Hasan. Just might hate him. Like many political figures online, he is polarizing. You see, Hasan has been around this internet game for quite some time, and over the years he has become increasingly more progressive with his views. And at this point I would describe him as basically alt-left. Like even Ethan Klein, who has become very much a leftist, couldn't deal with his nonsense.
Actually, you know what? Go listen to Hasan. People say, I need to go listen to Hasan. This is bullshit. Please, go listen to Hasan.
And over the past couple of days, Hasan has now been going viral on Twitter after he made the take that
nigga pulled a Lacey.
Streaming is harder than any other job, at least from a social battery draining standpoint.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
Now, just off the bat, I find his take to be not only very privileged, but also just not based in reality. And with this being Hasan, and so many people disliking him, anytime he gives people this type of ammo with just a stupid take, it's essentially like that scene from SpongeBob where it's like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? You know, everyone gets their turn with the beating stick, and they're essentially just passing this guy around, completely trashing him. Now, in response to that clip going viral, this is what Hasan had to say.
All jobs are terrible? No, that's not true. That's not true at all. Terrible. You know what terrible means? Terrible is like roofing in the Middle East in the middle of summer. Terrible. Wow, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Like, that's a terrible job. You know, most jobs aren't that. Like, a lot of them have AC, a lot of them have benefits, some of them pay great. You know, there's benefits. There's like, you might have access to things. No, they're not all terrible. There's some good jobs, some great jobs, some mid jobs. It really just depends on the people, bro. Nigga said it like he was slaving. Can you imagine? I feel bad for the roofers here in Atlanta. That seemed like yeah, bro.
It is wild how this completely out of context clip made its way to Twitter so fast. I was talking about how much a 9-hour stream eats away at my social battery and how I can't socialize after. Comparing it to my sales job before, I recognize how fortunate I am every day. And he also posted this longer clip that I guess is supposed to provide some sort of context.
Social battery wise, unless you're in retail, it's very different. You're out of touch with them. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job, okay? I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably fucking physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't do more social shit. That's my point.
Bro, the reason why Hasan is wrong is because in all reality, Hasan not wrong. He's giving his, he had a normal job and then a streaming job. He's just giving his perspective. The reason why he shouldn't even have said none of this in the first place, I get Hasan is a chatter, so he's gonna chat, my nigga. But the reality is most people think streaming is really easy. That category of people, which might even be in the majority, will never try and understand where you're coming from because they think what you do is easy. So they think there's nothing difficult about what you do at all. So why try and even explain the struggles of what you're doing to them? It's fucking pointless. Feel me? I feel like only recently did people start thinking like athletics was difficult because historically people even thought that was easy. So it just feels like there's no way he could win this because most people haven't experienced streaming. But I think, chat, am I wrong to say maybe 50% of us in here have at least tried streaming before? Even if it was to one nigga. Feel me? And if you've done that over the course of weeks and it was 0 people in there or 1 nigga in there, you start to understand what it's like to do it on a consistent basis. I think it's different once you have an audience because to me, this doesn't feel draining because I just feel like I'm kicking it with my guys. That's why I'm so interactive with chat. But I could see why it's draining for some people. I actually feel like I gain a battery talking to y'all, oddly enough. That's my experience. my social battery doesn't deteriorate talking to y'all. When I go outside, that shit, my social battery goes from like 100 to 50 by the time I even leave the fucking car. Seriously. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting fucking socially illiterate and I don't want to be outside no more. I just am way more comfortable here than I am like outdoors. Like by the second move of the night, I already really want to go home. And I just try and push myself so I don't become a fucking shut-in.
I mean, to me, the context here makes him look even more out of touch. Like, obviously, every single job is going to have its pros and cons. Like, for me, my job can be kind of the opposite. My job can be very socially isolating. Sometimes I can go all day without really talking to anyone. You gotta spend a lot of time on the computer. But I also understand that that's pretty much the way it goes for any job where you have to work at home. And I'm also not going to sit here and say, oh, my job is so much harder than someone else's because it is socially isolating. And also, let's be honest, you're not performing for 9 hours, dude. I mean, most of this guy's job is just watching YouTube videos and giving his political take. Like, half the time, I'm pretty sure this guy isn't even in the room, okay? The video's just playing and he goes off to do whatever the fuck he wants.
There are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type shit. But like if you're an accountant or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it.
You know, I would love to see Hasan try and do door-to-door sales or maybe some sort of cold calling and see how fast that type of job would suck the soul out of him. Pause. I mean, at the end of the day, dude, you are a millionaire sitting in a mansion reacting to YouTube videos, farming millions of dollars from your audience. And obviously, with this being Hasan, people began to make the typical arguments that they're going to say against him because he does present himself as a socialist online. They say Hasan Piker taking a private jet to Coachella because he's a principled anti-capitalist. And that's always kind of been a talking point against this guy because he does live in a mansion, he drives several fancy cars, he's out here apparently taking private flights, and what they're essentially saying is, yeah, dude, you hate on capitalism all the time, you act like you're some big socialist, but then in your free time, you choose to indulge in capitalism as much as you can. My guy Mudahar comes in with his take where he says, streaming is by far...
Wait, bro, like, hold on. This nigga, okay, just because he's a socialist doesn't mean he can't be rich, bro. What? You expect all socialist niggas to just be fucking poor? Like, I imagine he donates some money, and the nigga raised a fuck ton of money last year. Like, he spends a lot of his time. I feel like that's not fair, bro. What you expect him to, he gives away so much of the money too. Like, what the fuck is the expectation? He can't get nothing for himself. I do think if he's a socialist, he should stand on his beliefs in ways where like he's not skirting loopholes to avoid taxes and shit like that. The way a capitalist nigga might be in a gray area with offshore this, that, the third. Like, that would be nuts. But like, damn, if this nigga has millions of dollars, like he's gonna get himself a crib. And that being said, he just has to know that he's winning at the game he's criticizing. And so some people are going to think he looks hypocritical, but it's his money. Nigga made his money. It does make him look a little hypocritical when he spends it extravagantly. I get that. But like, what, nigga's supposed to donate it all? I don't know if I'm in that position. I don't know what I would do, actually, now I think about it. I don't know. For what it's worth, I feel like he does a lot of good in like the charity stuff I've seen on the internet, bro. So
comes in with his take where he says streaming is by
he's a trust fund baby. Why someone say that?
Far the easiest, most privileged jobs one can have. If you're successful, the rewards far outweigh any of the negatives. Facts. Compare it to any service job, cybersecurity or nursing, you'll find something actually.
I'm not gonna lie, most of the very socialist people I know are wealthier. Or their parents were wealthier. Does that make sense?
Exhausting. And now this guy comes in with his take about Mudahar's take where he says, fuck it, I'm doing bad faith arguments. Give a nurse or a cybersecurity expert a camera and tell them to talk about politics in front of 20,000 people for 9 hours a day, every day for a year, and see how long they can go before they quit from harassment or lose viewership because they suck. You'll see a lot of comments on Twitter trying to defend Hasan in this way. And to me, it's just such a stupid argument because they don't take account that he's making millions of dollars to do so. Like, this is almost the equivalent of me telling a school teacher who's complaining about their salary, yeah, well,
Bro, the easiest job on the planet is not a streamer. The easiest job on the planet is being a VC, bro. Those venture capitalist niggas that just throw money at companies until one sticks, and then that's how they made their $500 million. That's the easiest job. Those niggas actually don't do much work. They kind of just gamble until they get really lucky with like a fucking Facebook or an Nvidia. Seriously, bro. Those niggas is living lives, man. They might have had to grind to get there, you feel me? But once you're in that position, bro, I don't think those jobs is just, there is nothing you could do with your time that will make you that amount of money. It's impossible. You can stream every single day for 20 hours for the rest of your life and you're not making that type of money. Those niggas make bank, bro.
you go play shortstop.
Oh, Cap, the easiest job on the planet? Do illegal jobs count? The niggas that be rug pulling people. The rug pull community. Yo, those niggas just gas up a coin and make millions. And then nobody holds them accountable. No, that's the easiest job on the planet. I believe that in the bottom of my heart, bro.
For the New York Yankees, you go play power forward for the Lakers. Let's see how you fucking like it. Like, at the end of the day, doing streaming as a job when
That's
it
not a
comes
job.
to
Is
the
that a
pay
job?
versus the amount of effort you have to put in, especially for like these top
That's a
level
job.
streamers who have already made it and are getting like millions of dollars a month. And I would say it's a very fair assessment that they're all very privileged. I mean, I'm extremely privileged in my job. I'm not too out of touch where I can't recognize that. Like, you want to talk about mentally exhausting, you want to talk about socially draining. Like, I have friends who work out in the oil field. I'm talking about 12-hour shifts on their feet. I'm talking about missing birthdays, missing holidays, working with a bunch of felons. So if I were to sit here and say like, oh, my job is so hard because it's socially isolated.
Is it like
My
a lot of
job is
felons
so
working in
hard
the oil
because I
fields?
get tired of doing the same thing every day. Like, if I were to say those things, I would feel like a bitch. Because I know how hard some of my friends are working. I know people who are completely educated with years of work experience who cannot find a job right now. And so with this situation, Hasan is going to take his moment to kind of lean into the bait where someone says, what's harder than this? And obviously this just looks like a disgustingly terrible, grueling job to have, no matter how much money you're making to do it. And Hasan says sarcastically that Twitch streaming is harder. Okay, kind of just poking fun at all the quote-unquote haters out there. Now, another popular streamer out there, Osmond Gold, stepped in to give his take on the situation.
Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. It's like, after a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk.
Or the department manager just occasionally is just like, hey, you suck, bitch. Bald ass bitch, you fell off, huh? We're gonna remember this in your performance review. You fat f***. Stupid ass.
Oh my god, guys, can you believe that random people online type mean comments? Like, this guy is years into the internet game and he's gonna really try and act like negative comments or mean people online bother him. Like, I get that it is a big part of...
I say this, bro. I think people that have jobs online have developed a thick skin. But seriously, I don't think most people can handle the criticism that the average popular streamers, because it's like after years of being hurt over shit, you develop thick skin, hurt, thick skin, hurt, thick skin. Bro, I know people in my personal life that like get offended over me not doing something. Like, if you forget to dap them up because it was a lot of niggas in a room, they'll get offended. Like, you're getting cooked if you pull out a stream and niggas start fucking laughing at your hairline, the size of your forehead, whatever fuck. It's just a different, I don't know how to explain it. Once you realize online that it's, most of the time it's just out of love, like it's bored niggas just trying to entertain themselves, you don't take the shit serious no more. Like, if I was truly offended every time somebody made fun of me, bro, I wouldn't be able to be on here, bro. But it's just funny to me. Like, it is what it is at the end of the day. If somebody actually feels a negative way towards me, then, I mean, shit, it's not going to change me, bro. Like, I wish I knew how to explain that, but I see what he's trying to say. I think he just gave a shit example, huh?
Twitch to interact with your chat, but I feel like if you're gonna be a figure on the internet, pretty early on you have to learn to not really give a fuck about what anyone says, whether it's good or bad. Like, people are gonna praise
Facts.
you when you're up, and try and take you out when you're down, but you can't really give a fuck because that's kind of just the nature of the beast. It kind of just comes with the job.
He says that he gets exhausted socially because he's talking to people for 9 hours a day. You really think that's not true?
People aren't saying it's not true. I think people are just saying you don't really have the right to complain about it when the pros outweigh the cons so much. And the pros in this situation being that he's a fucking millionaire, sitting in his house all day, still making millions of dollars for a very minimum amount of effort.
I mean,
I'm surprised by Asman's take here, bro. I just didn't expect him to stand on this side of it.
you really think it's not true that after you spend 9 hours being investigated by thousands of people with every facial movement, everything you say.
Yo, Hayden, bro, appreciate the 5 gifted subs, brother. Thank you, dog. W gifts in the chat. Yo, Hayden, appreciate the love, brother. Thank you, man.
Every word with people constantly trying to disagree with you and fight with you. That's not socially draining.
I mean, Osman, you can't even clean your room.
Lord have mercy!
You are a multi-millionaire
Oh
who
my
refuses to hire
God!
a maid, and you just choose to live in filth. You choose to have a pet cockroach. Like, I'm sorry, but anyone who chooses to live like this, especially...
Tony Raid! Yo, Tony! What's up, Tony? Appreciate the raid, buddy. W Tony in the fucking chat. I see you. Appreciate
who
you,
has
bro.
the means not to, I can't really take anything they say seriously. Like, my grandmother always told me it cost nothing to be clean. Like, there is no excuse.
And this nigga Tony just gifted 5! Appreciate the love, man. Hey. Damn, I wish you streamed a little bit later, Tony. You're an earlier streamer. I feel like I'm an early streamer and you're an earlier streamer than I am. I appreciate the love, dog.
Excuse to be a dirty motherfucker. I just think when some of these guys want to give like a real world point of view, they end up coming off brain dead because they are so out of touch with reality when it comes to the actual jobs people have to work.
Bro, I'll say this, bro. On this topic sucks because it's really most people won't try and understand all POVs. They just will try and shill their point. But most rich streamers I know, not all, some want to do it forever. Most of them, regardless of how much they're making, want to just make enough to where they don't have to worry about money and then stop. Does that make sense? As lucrative as it is, they don't want to do it forever. Even if it meant more millions. That's how tough it is on their mental. Does that make sense? Me? No, I enjoy the streaming part. I'm gonna be honest. I think I used to, but I don't enjoy the attention, bro. Like, if you gave me a job that was this satisfying without the attention, I'd be happier with the job. But I think on Jamari's point, I really feel like I don't have no room to complain. Like, I'm privileged in the scope of American jobs, and America's privileged in the scope of the world. So I feel like I have like the privilege, like the 1% privilege. So that's not a complaint, but if I could change one thing about it, I don't like it's just millions of people being in your business. Because when you see the negative side of that, it's just like, it's sometimes overwhelming, and I'd rather not. But that being said, though, I think like, I'm going to say this, bro. This is my last point. I think it completely depends on your community. All right? I think it's harder to be, I think Los Polos was in here earlier. It's way harder to be a Los Polos than it is to be a Pokimane, for example. Because Los community just beats the shit out of him. And he puts up with it. And that's why he be taking the breaks and coming back, I imagine. I didn't ask him. I'm just guessing. But I imagine that's why. And then, Poki's community is just so positive and bubbly and lovely. She's a little toxic from time to time, and that's it. So it just depends on what your community's like. Does that make sense? I actually think this stream, I feel like there's only a couple times where it actually pissed me off, bro. One was in a GTA RP session like a year ago when niggas wouldn't let me do shit without criticizing it. I'm like, then what the fuck am I even doing this for? No matter what the decision is, niggas mad at it. And then there was one, I forgot what it was. It was like months later, but it's rare, bro, where it happens. And like most of the time, if I just keep streaming, it gets better. That's the best way to explain it. Sometimes you just want to get off when you feel like that, but I just keep streaming and I get better. You got your feelings hurt? Bro, it's not feelings hurt. It was just frustrated. And obviously, it doesn't account for the times I got mad at games, like breaking my monitors, playing Fortnite or some shit like that.
The actual stresses of life, especially right now with the current state of the economy, the housing market, compared to what people are getting in return at these jobs in form of payment. Like, most people are not going to want to hear this shit. They don't want to hear about your little, oh, woe is me story while you're raking in millions. And they can't afford their rent. They can't afford to buy groceries. They can't afford to go out and do anything fun. Like, I know so many people my age who are completely educated. They tried to do everything right, everything the way the system told them to do it, and now they just feel completely screwed. Like, they're still having to live with their parents and they're approaching 30 years old. They don't own a house. All they really have is debt to their name. Like, they don't want to hear your privileged-ass hot takes from your nasty-ass room. But I genuinely want...
Yo, I think even if you remove the benefits, if we're just talking about jobs regardless, let's say every job got paid the same benefits, same everything, right? I still think streaming is a good job. And then when you add all the benefits on like how much you can make, earning potential, it becomes a great job. I don't think it's a bad job if you remove the benefits of it at all, personally. And the reason I feel like that is because I was doing it for free for fucking 7 years. And I never felt like I was doing it was still enjoyable, even if there was like 3 niggas in there, bro. That was fun as fuck to me. It's a little grindy when you're trying to grow it for sure. Not a little, it was very grindy, but it's a good job, bro. It's a good job. It just has its struggles like any other job. Some are worse than others. But this is a pointless conversation, my nigga. It's like comparing apples to
I
oranges.
know what you guys think about this whole situation.
I think it's just funny coming from Hasan because of his political stance usually. I think he's an interesting spokesperson for it. Like when Lacey said it, it was just funny, bro. When Lacey said it, because Lacey's just a goof, bro. Nigga just says random things. I just think he was trying to bait interactions. Really didn't matter. But when Hasan says
Fuck
it...
Duke Day, it's Uplift Agent Day. Let's show this nigga some positivity for the day, bitch ass niggas in chat.
Hey, no need to fuck anything. Just tell him happy birthday and go about your business like a usual birthday. Let's just keep it usual. Oh, so you like the video? Boom. You're gonna like that one too, man. Go ahead, just. Bro, click the video. What the? Bro, that's what I be saying. Like,